Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I know there's going to probably be some people out there calling me petty. I know there's going to be people coming up with every name in the book trying to call me something. And the funny thing is, yeah, call me all those names. Call me petty. Call me whatever it is that you want to call me. The thing is, at the end of the day, I am speaking nothing but facts when I do this episode, when I do any other episodes or videos, TikToks, social media posts regarding just whatever it is that I am talking about regarding this situation. I am always going to tell the truth. I am always going to tell facts. You name one time where I lied about anything related to this whole situation, please do so. Because it's funny at times, people, they call me a liar. And I'm like, what do I have to lie about? Like, when you sit down and you think of, just prime TMossBoss hate train, like just when all that stuff was really going down, like 2017, of course, 2018, 2019, like there was that time period where I could not escape from dislikes, hate comments, whatever the situation was. I was going to face that, right? And I sit down and I think of that time frame and I'm like, man, like how did I survive that? Like, how did I manage to get through that? Like, how did I, and it's something where you sit down and you think about it and you're like, okay, well, I know I'm not doing anything wrong as I'm being myself, being a content creator, because like, no, let's really sit down and talk about that, right? Let's really sit down and talk about this. Me being a content creator, how does that affect you? That's a question I feel like I didn't ask so many different questions, and there's always those unanswered questions, and I feel like that's probably one of the biggest unanswered questions that I have asked for years now. How does me bother you as I'm uploading a video or a social media post? You put yourself in that situation where you're going to read that. So the funny thing is, like, I am going to be talking about that. I am going to be talking about when they tell me to let things go. But meanwhile, I think it was just yesterday, I seen somebody where he was, because I looked my name up and I'm like, I always know that after I do a video, there's always going to be somebody talking about me, tweeting about me and stuff. But anyways, let me see if I can find that tweet again, because was it yesterday or was it the day before? It's been, oh, is this it? This is it. By a person where that's all that they've done is tweet about me. I don't even know who this individual is, but like, yeah, it was a few days ago. They made a tweet about me. Back in September of last year, they made it. They were making tweets about me. Like sending, anytime when I would make a video or talk about somebody, they would send them. They would give them the word that I had mentioned them or talked about them or reacted to one of their videos or something. And this has gone back, I was scrolling through the account, and this has gone back to 2018. So it's funny to me when they say that. They're all like, you need to let things go, but meanwhile, you got like whole accounts dedicated to people, I guess, updating my oppositions, like, updating them on whatever it is that I'm doing. I sit down and I think about that, and I'm like, man, I know I'm probably done said some things and did some things throughout my content creating career that I'm not proud of. If I ever figure those things out, then I'll be sure to, tell y'all about it. But overall, though, it's like, that's what you're going to be known as. You're going to be known as the TMossBoss hater. You're not going to be known for yourself or what you got going on. You're just going to be known for the posts or videos, tweets, whatever it is that you're making about me. I ain't never really seen no YouTube account dedicated to me and stuff. Well, actually, no, I do take that back. There was the one racist Twitter stalker guy that was, it was funny because he actually had just talked about, it might even be this person. I'm like, it might be the same person. But they did show where I was like, I had talked about them last year, and they were even reporting back to them. And it's like, the thing is this, I could ask that question, like, why are you doing that? But it's just, I feel like there needs to be a deeper question asked. Like, what do you have going on in your life to where it possesses you to be the messenger? It's like, I sit down and I think about stuff like that. I'm like, I couldn't live life like that. You know, it's like my thing is this, and I think that's the case with a lot of different people that do spend unnecessary amount of time, I guess, just paying attention to whatever it is that I'm doing. It's like you don't have nothing going on in your life. Like, no, like that's some facts right there. Like that's something, that's the truth. Because my thing is this: if so, what do you have overall going on for your life? What is it that you're doing to where it's something that you can brag about, something that you could be happy about? You know, it's like you spend more time involved in that than you do, I guess, surrounding me, because that's how I look at it. You're just waiting for a moment where I slip up or do something, and then just so you can talk about it. And I'm like, man, I just couldn't live life like that, where I'm known as that guy where he just he sits around and talks about, I mean, unless I don't know, unless I have a talk show or something. But even then, it's like I don't want it to be no like negative talk show, you know. But it's like I see things like that and I'm like, bro, it's just it's sad. It really does suck. It really does suck to see people just, I guess, like carry on like that and things. But overall, though, do you think that guy is letting it? I feel like that's gonna be one of the main questions that I'm asking. Is, do you think that individual is gonna let the situation go? Do you think the racist Twitter stalker guy, do you think he's gonna let the situation go? Do you think just the robot, he already made it clear that he don't let situations go? So do you think he's ever gonna let the situation go? I mean, sit down and think about that. Last year, I started blowing up with voiceover videos. Still doing good with the voiceover videos, by the way, too. I feel like I need to just let people know that. But anyways, blew up last year with the voiceover videos. What's the first thing that he does? He makes a video talking about me. I guess maybe trying to promote the other videos that he made on me. And I'm like, and that's the thing. I just, I can't, I feel like that asking why is just too easy of a question. I feel like you got to like ask him a hard hitting question. And I feel like the only question I could possibly think of is, what are you doing to where you had to like overall just kind of like take yourself away? Because I just feel that when you get to a certain age, you get to focusing on yourself, you get to focusing on those around you. I'm saying, like, I think at this time he did have a girlfriend and things, he had somewhat of something going on in his life, but you still took the time out of your day to make a video about me. And why is just too easy of a question. I'm like, nah, bruh, I can't ask you why. I gotta figure it out. Because I'm like, that's the thing about it. It's like, I don't think I'm going to get a logical answer. But I feel like when you kind of fast forward the process and you figure it out, he didn't let the situation go. So it's like, so you sit down, people, they bring that up to me and they comment that on my video saying that I need to let the situation go. Why should I let the situation go? It's like, why, what's the reason of me letting the situation go? Or I guess, like, what do I have going on in my life to where I need to let the situation go? Because if anything, when I sit down, and I guess I speak from my own perspective on what I'm overall doing, I'm letting people know the situation. I'm letting people know what's going on, because that was one of the main things that was surrounding my name at one point in time, this TMossBoss hate. So when they ask me, because my thing is this, rather than having it because I feel like if I wasn't talking about this, people would be asking me questions left and right. I'll be streaming, asking me questions about the situation. I'll be making other different YouTube videos, asking me questions about the situation, tweeting. The funny thing is that that's what's going on that side of the spectrum and stuff, where it's like these guys ain't even paying attention. They ain't doing nothing. It's like they trying to, I guess, like, take the attention off, because that's one thing that I have paid attention to, that I feel like everybody, even those that haven't even gone through nothing just yet, but they are at some point in time. They always do go through something. Just the robot, he's going with the situation with Cinnabare, and then just all the other different stuff that he has going on. Like, I just watched the one video where he was sitting down talking with the girl that he was stalking at VidCon, and that's like, man, you sit down, you think about that type of stuff, and it's like, does your life suck that much to where you got to do some stuff like that? I'm saying, like, that's the thing where it's just, he blames that dyslexia, he blames that autism, he tries to get his friends involved, like that. And that's why I was watching with that video too, like him getting his friends involved. And I'm like, man, that's just silly. It's like it's just silly to where it's like he can't fight his own battles. Like he needs people to go around and I guess be his words, because he can't think of them words himself. He can't think of one logical answer on why did everything happen the way that it did. Not even just with me, but just overall with his career. Why is he being called out for being a racist? Why is he being called out for being a sexist? Why is he being called out for being a stalker, defending a pedophile? And if we just want to throw my name into the mix, lead on this hate train towards a random content creator because he made a video defending people that you don't like. I'm saying, like, you sit down, you think about that type of stuff, and then it's like, when you sit down and think about me and all I've ever done is elevate my content creating career. Like, no, let's sit down and talk about that real quick. Since 2016, I've created 48 other different YouTube channels. I've uploaded thousands of videos. I've accumulated millions of views across multiple platforms, thousands of followers across multiple platforms, over 100,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. What else have I done throughout my career when I sit down and think about it? Like, I'm saying, like, just all the different forms of content that I've uploaded. Like, when we sit down and talk about that, like, having it where there's friends of mine that's, like, coming back to me saying, like, oh, yeah, I was just randomly scrolling through YouTube and seeing one of your videos and stuff. Like, not even looking for my videos, not even seeing it in the recommendations. Like, no, so I remember, I think I've talked on this before, but I remember there was a friend of mine where he said he was looking up like true to size sneaker videos. So the one pair of sneakers that he was getting ready to get was the I think it was the Jubilee Air Jordan 11s, and he wanted to see if those shoes was true to size. So I did do a video where I was talking on the sizings of Air Jordan 11s, and just to throw that in there real quick, Air Jordan 11s are true to size. But if your go-to like true to size is if it's like a little bit too snug, you can go up half a size. All right, so just to throw a little sneaker tip in the middle of this podcast episode. But anyways, no, I remember he said that he was just randomly looking that up and he came across my videos. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's some other occasions where friends have mentioned that, but I can't remember it at the moment and stuff. But anyways, regardless though, even having it where I was like, no, I'll never forget. I remember I was at the store one day and I'm walking in, this guy, he recognizes me. And he's like, I've seen you somewhere. And I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen you. And I'm like, man, because I know that there's been like a lot of different people I went to school with where I'm like, I just don't recognize them no more. They done changed. They went through some like metamorphosis and stuff. But no, so I think what it was that it was a mutual friend of ours that shared one of my videos and he seen it. He was sitting down and watching it and he recognized me. And I'm like, oh, cool, dope. Like having it where things like that happen to you. And then that's when you got to ask, like, what do you think is going on with these guys' content creating careers? Do you think anybody that personally knows Just a Robot, like, he has to, the thing is this, like, when you look at that, and then when you look at how, like, I guess, I can't really say random people and stuff, but, I guess, like, more so, like, my friends, where it's like, they don't mind sitting down watching my videos. Do you think his friends sit down and watch his videos? Do you think his roommate sits down and watches videos? What about his girlfriend? Do you think she sits down and watches his videos? I guarantee and I promise you she's not. That's something where I'm like, that's just way too much of Just a Robot in one day. Not only that you got to like spend time with this man, but now you got to sit down and watch his videos. That's horrible. That's a Twilight Zone episode, if anything. So I'm like, there's no way possible I will be able to live like that. I'm surprised that girl, there is going to be a situation, I feel like, that Just a Robot, he's going to probably end up posting a video talking about, yeah, he had to let that situation go. Because I'm like, that girl, she ain't want no parts of that. And I'm like, honestly, I don't blame her. Because that's something where I'm like, that's just too much. That's just way too much. But anyways, but I know people, when they sit down and they like comment that and things talking about, I need to let the situation go. And I feel like that, transferring it into that question of why am I not letting the situation go? Because when I sit down and I think of all of the different stuff that I went through, this is pretty much a laughing victory lap. That's how I look at this situation. It is a laughing victory lap. People can't admit that they were in the wrong. So the best thing that they can do is leave comments like that, talking about, oh, I need to let the situation go. It's not funny. You need to stop. You need to do that. It's like, nah, bro. I'm having fun with the situation. People, the funny thing is like, I never really wanted to look at it as a victory lap, but I have no other choice but to look at it as a victory lap, because it is a victory lap. When you see people that have been going after you for years, because I guarantee and I promise you, if I hadn't gotten involved in the Rainbow Six Siege community, the hate was still kind of going on a little bit, but then I feel like that with that, like, just me just putting myself more and more out there, and then seeing it where, like, just the robot, his downfall, like, it was gonna happen at any given moment. When you see that going down, and then it's like, dang, wow, like, I kind of put it out there in existence, but I mean, dang, like, I guess I just didn't believe in myself as much as I thought I did and stuff. But yeah, it's like, you look at it and it's like, you realize, I feel like you realize when you're in the victory lap, when you are actually, like, you're running, like, you're halfway through, like, because with me, I think I've realized it when I was, like, halfway through recording a video, probably even a podcast episode, and that's when it hit me, and I'm like, this is a victory lap. I'm like, I don't know why I was trying to run. I'm running from the victory lap, but I'm on the track, bro. Like, I'm here now. Like, there ain't no going. And even if my thing is this, even if it was a situation where I wasn't even addressing it, still, it is a victory lap, because the main thing that I'm doing, all right, besides this one particular podcast episode, the other like however many minutes this podcast, so outside of the minutes of this podcast episode, this is this window of where I'm talking about you guys. That outside part, I'm focused on my other 49 different YouTube channels. I'm focused on what I'm going to stream tonight on Twitch. I'm thinking maybe I should stream on some other platforms later on this week. What voiceover content can I do? What TikTok episodes can I do? What podcast episodes that I can do? I guarantee and I promise you, I ain't never wrote about just a robot on in my journal, where I have, like, all these different video ideas that I need to sit down and look through that journal and go through with those ideas and stuff. But my thing is this: I can continue, keep going. And that's the thing, where I can rewind this whole victory lap and it's still going to be the same situation. Me cracking jokes, me having fun with the situation, people realizing that nothing good was going to come out of this. I guess more so on the other end, like on my end. Yeah, the good thing I had to say that came out of this for me is that I know I'm not going to have to worry about this dark cloud being over me. But I mean, my thing is this: I'm from Seattle. I know how to handle dark clouds. All right. You get you an umbrella and you go on about your business. And that's the thing, where it's like, I feel like that's how it was from 2020 all the way up until now. I finally popped open that umbrella and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let this dark cloud go. I'm not going to let this whole situation just rain on my parade. I'm still going to get to where I need to get to. So when it comes down to anything content creating related, I'm not going to let just the robot, and this goes out to any and everybody else that has an issue with me, I am not going to let y'all rain on my parade. I've been doing this. The funny thing is that I've been doing this fully, like full time, for 10 years, but I had to start considering myself a content creator for 15 years. Like, I might have not been creating the content that I was when I very first started back in 2010. But that's the thing, though. It's like, I got myself involved in the business. Yeah, I might not have been the content creator that I am today, but I did get myself involved in the business. I practiced. I spent days and nights figuring out, like, what's the next thing that I'm going to upload on YouTube. And then finally, I was like, you know what? I'm out of this whole, like, early access thing. That's how I've always considered my first 5 years on YouTube. I consider it like the early access phase. I'm like, now I got to release this 1.0 update. What could I possibly do to have it where I do get to that point where I'm at 100,000 subscribers? I do have millions of views on multiple platforms. I got to continue being a content creator. So that's the thing, where I'm like, it's like you guys might have taken away, or not, I'm not going to say taken away, but I'm going to say that you kind of delayed the process of me being the content creator that I do want to be. but that's not gonna ever happen. I'm going to stop being a content creator, and I feel like I had to have said that before, and that's why they, put it in play. And there's like, oh well, let's make up these lies and rumors about him. Let's have it where he's getting nonstop hatred across his videos left and right, having it where it's like we're doing any and everything in our power to just have it where he cannot have a good, successful content creating career. Fam, this is a victory story. If anything, besides a victory lap, this is a victory story. Having it where it's like when I very first, because that's the thing, I've been through so much as a content creator, from having it where first 5 years I wasn't even making any money. And then it was like from 2015 to 2020, it was like I was constantly getting into some form of drama, whether it was from small channels or a big channel like at the time like Just the Robots. But having it where I went through all of that, and then for some odd reason I just stopped. Why? Why should I stop? That's the thing, because people, they always like to say stuff like, oh, you have no views, like you can't entertain, you're not funny, you're this and you're that, like just insults left and right. But there's never a situation, I don't think there's ever been a time where a comment has got to my head. Yeah, I might talk about stuff here and there, but that's the thing though, I end up forgetting. If like people go and bring up something that was said to me a long time ago, I have to say there's been comments that have stuck out, but I'm like, dang, I made the person that upset? Like, there's just some crazy comments, but I had to say there's never been those comments that's brought out an emotional side to me. I'm like, fam, like, even outside of content creating, I done had stuff get said to me where I'm like, yes, it has brought out an emotional side. But that's the thing, though, with content creating, I know what the business is with content creating. I know how that I need to hurry up and in this podcast episode, because WrestleMania is on at the moment. So, but overall, I'm like, yeah, bro, I pretty much what I am trying to say, I ain't going nowhere. So y'all have an issue with me, I guess, with this victory lap, all like, oh, let it go. Nah, I'm like, I'm still gonna be just laughing about it. And if anything, I'll probably just spin back and continue on the pointing and laughing and stuff. It's like, y'all, my thing is this: you guys wasn't trying to let it go for 4 years, 4 years of just nonstop hate. So maybe I might feed into this stuff for 4 years. Maybe I might at some point in time stop this year. But the thing is this: I'm not going to stop until I feel like stopping. All right. If you have a problem about it, like I said before, contact YouTube. All right. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. And like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.